Yo, what's up, YouTube? My name is Chisha Zed, and I'm back in here with another video for you. Peace, positivity, self-awareness, and motivation. Listen, I need your help. This is every one of you, especially the ones of you that have never done this before. Hit that like button. Show your boys some love. Now, without any further delay, let's get into it. So guys, throughout the past few months, I've made a lot of videos that have been centered around Brittany Renner, right? And I hear you guys in the comment section, a few of you be like, man, why are we giving this chick attention? Why? Do we really need another Brittany Renner video? We get it, man. We get it, right? Well, as always, guys, as I always say in the end of every Brittany Renner video that I do, is I honestly know Brittany Renner is a representation of the type of woman that a lot of you are going to run into when you're out here doing life, living life. The type of woman who wants to take from you. The type of woman who wants to exploit you for your resources. Now, she is an extreme version of that because, you know, she's looking for men who make millions, but there are other women out there who want to exploit you for your resources. You don't have to be rich today to be taken advantage of for your resources as a man. There are women out here who want to have your kid, put you on child support. Watch out for them. They are a type of Brittany Renner. There are women out here who just want to marry you for your resources, right? They want you to play that beta male provider role. Be careful. That is another type of a Brittany Renner. Now, it can go from that extreme to there are women out here who want to go on dates with you and just have you spend money on dates, buy them food, drinks, and not give you nothing, right? You're not going to smash. You're not getting to bust any cheeks at all. And that's sad. That's a sad place to be, man. So today I was on Instagram. Let's get into the story. Today I was on Instagram and I'm scrolling, minding my own business. If you're not following me on Instagram, get your life together. Give me a follow. Say what's up. Shoot me content. And I usually like to respond to as many people as possible, especially if you're just saying hi. So this post was shared by the Shade Room and it read, Brittany Renner denies trapping PJ Washington while discussing age gaps. Men and women are held to different standards. So apparently she just had this whole interview with DJ Academics. Listen, shout out to Ac. And in that interview, she denied that she is in any way responsible for taking advantage of PJ. She also said, hey, I'm spiritual. I would never do such a thing, right? At least that's what she was trying to allude to. She said, I believe in divine intervention. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. She's now claiming to be Christian or something and live under some Christian morals. I mean, it's just crazy. And here's the honest truth. For a while there, Brittany had me. Throughout this whole time, she's kind of played this whole like nonchalant, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words would never hurt me attitude. You know what I mean? She wasn't fazed, as so it seemed. But me seeing this interview come out, especially me watching a little bit of it, and I've so much stuff. Listen, I've got some important stuff to share with you guys, so stick with me, right, to the very end. But I really thought Brittany Renner didn't care about what anybody thought until today, right? But hey, as always, I'm going to read some of these comments. We're going to listen to what the people have to say. The first comment that popped up was from my boy Steph as Cold. Shout out to Steph, man. Shout out to Steph. And he said, cap. I agree with you, bro. I mean, guys, we're talking about a woman that gave people advice on how to trap other men financially, is now at a point where she's supposed to take accountability for that mindset, and she can't do it. Why? Because accountability is like kryptonite to women, right? This commenter says, I'm a very spiritual person. Also, Brittany Renner, hide your sons. With the crying emoji, laughing emoji, and dead. I mean, like, come on. Could you have made it any easier to show that you're full of cap? Really? Spiritual? Oh, you believe in God? You believe in, you read your Bible, Brittany, that's how you live your life? Come on, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. This commenter says, what does being spiritual have to do with you finessing him and his life? It doesn't, right? It's a cop-out. And nobody is falling for it. This commenter says, it ain't her fault that he was simping. Well, he's right. It's not her fault that PJ Washington was a simp. But that's not what this is about, man. I know PJ's a simp. You know PJ's a simp. We've agreed, right? And he probably understands that that was a simp move. He's probably embarrassed. The problem here is Brittany Renner denying that she in any way took advantage of PJ Washington. That's the real question, right? We need her to fess up to the truth, which probably won't happen, guys. This commenter says, there are 3 sides to every story. His, hers, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. They know what relationship they had. Fair, but I also believe people can take a pretty educated guess as to how that relationship went, like just looking at her personality and looking at his. This commenter says, people too old to be talking about trapping a grown man with their eyes rolling back. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. You see, what men are doing today, especially in this PJ Washington situation, is we're finally playing the game the way women have always played it. It's very rare that men take this victim mentality approach. This is what women do all the time. This is what they do. If the roles were reversed, and I mean the gender roles were reversed in this situation, then you'd have a bunch of women who said, yeah, he took advantage of her when she was really young, regardless of whether she was over 18 or not. If he was 10 years older and he got married to her and then dipped out and now he's like living rent free, you know what I mean? And just like living off of that young girl, would have a bunch of women out here who'd be like, oh, he did her so bad. That's so wrong. He knew what he was doing. Men are finally, for once, just playing the game the way women always have. And that's taking the victim role. Is that what men should do? Whatever. You know what I mean? I don't have any say in that personally, but that's what's happening. And a lot of women can't take it. They can't take it. This commenter says, girl, boo, talking about spiritual divine, but trying to trap college students. Real talk, man. I hope she knows how crazy she looked bringing God into this. You know it's bad for you when you bring God into the situation. This commenter says, girl, who did that wig? With a bunch of question marks. In fact, guys, there was a bunch of comments about like her hair and stuff, which, you know, looked crazy apparently, according to a lot of people. This commenter says, girl, don't you ever say Beyonce's name again or I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap. Now, listen, the Beehive, they don't play about Beyonce. So she's on here name dropping people on X platform. And I could tell he was uncomfortable with that. You know what I mean? She's bringing people into it. Jay-Z, she brought Lori Harvey. I think Drake was mentioned in the longer version of the interview or whatever. She was obviously triggered by this situation. And as that interview keeps on progressing, at the very end is where it gets the most real. And I'm going to address that. Keep watching. This commenter says, I'm a very spiritual person, and he's got a bunch of red flags. That is facts. Any girl that's out here talking about I'm very spiritual, you want to be careful. You want to be careful, right? Because you just never know. Spiritual people, man, people that truly believe in God, don't go around telling everybody how spiritual they are. And in her case, man, she's talking about God in a moment, right, to get out of the heat of the situation. That's how you know she'll do whatever it takes for you to not see who she truly is. Brittany, it's too late. We see you for who you truly are. You can't deny it. You got the money, but was it worth it? This commenter said, yeah, you thought that was your meal ticket. Facts. This commenter says, laughing my AO, not her playing victim now. Just a few days ago, it was like, whatever. I don't care. I'm not affected. Think what you think, right? This commenter says, did Jay-Z and Michael B. Jordan camp out at Beyonce's and Lori's high school too? Or, yeah. Right? You want to bring these other people into your situation when your situation is very unique. You go to college campuses and chill and wait to take advantage of men. Right? Hey, it is what it is, man. The truth is finally coming out. This commenter says, girl, call it what it was. This commenter says, why is she bringing other people in it? Because that's what people do. When you get in trouble, man, when you know that you are wrong, you start blaming other people. If you're somebody who has a hard time accepting accountability, you start looking for other people to blame or to justify your decisions. This commenter says, girl, explain why you went on a college campus talking about hide your sons. Exactly. Keep the same energy. This commenter says her body language real defensive to not be guilty. And that's facts. During the second part of that interview with Brittany Renner and DJ Academics, DJ Academics sort of takes things to a whole different length of honesty, right? He finally says, you know what? I just want to share this theory I have about you and PJ Washington. She goes, okay, go ahead and share it. You've already said so much crazy stuff. You might as well say whatever else you have on your mind. So he goes on to let her know, hey, so I think that you saw PJ Washington as a come up, right? He specifically, I believe, said a cash out. And he said, you know, you're getting older. You're not really attracting men like you used to. He says because you've attracted other men that have made more money, but you were looking for someone who you could take advantage of. And she, of course, goes ballistic and denies any type and such of a thing. And DJ Academics did not stop there, man. He kept it real, letting her know that, hey, you released a book with all these guys that you were, hopping around from joystick to joystick. None of them claimed you. You were a side chick, which then she denied and said, why? Because I'm beautiful, so now I'm a side chick. And he said, no, because none of them claimed you. I mean, it got real. Now, something you guys should understand about Ack, man, is he is highly intelligent. DJ Academics is a really smart guy. I know this for a fact because I remember his last appearance on the Fresh and Fit podcast. And maybe it wasn't his last appearance. I want to say like maybe his first appearance when he was on Fresh and Fit. And at the beginning of the whole interview when he was on there, I wasn't sure how that whole interview would go. But as it played out, I started to realize like, hey man, Ack is pretty RP aware. Like he truly understands this. He understands female nature. When he said, listen, I have an up theory. What he's really about to talk about there, if you paid attention closely, was hypergamy. The current mating strategy of the modern woman. And what he basically said there in so many words is when he said he was your way out, like your cash out, is, okay, so you dated all these alpha men, right? What do we know about women who start off when they're really young, right? They go, they ride the CC, they chase all these alphas. And he says, and you got to the point where you said, okay, I'm getting older, right? Women hit the wall. And you're following here. And then he says, and you saw an opportunity, you saw a simp, a beta male provider, which is a lot of women do this. And you said, this is my way out. And of course he's going to say, I have an effed up theory. Why? Because RP concepts are not popular when it comes to mainstream culture, but the RP is going mainstream in a way. Whether you think that's bad or good, that's up for debate. But I know Ack. I know what he was doing right there, man. He understands his stuff. He's a smart guy. I know he understands his stuff. Why? Because he's hanging out with like Fresh and Fit. You know what I mean? He's hanging out with Myron, and shout out to Myron. Shout out to Fresh Prince CEO. Right? He's hanging around with those guys. I remember the last video I watched on, it was like the whole way through, was when Kodak Black was on the Fresh and Fit podcast, right? And DJ Academics actually bought Kodak Black for Fresh Prince's birthday as like a birthday gift, which I thought was a great episode on the show. But what am I trying to say? That point that he made was based in his RP understanding of female nature. When women get to a certain age, they look around. This is after they've had their fun. In prior interviews that Brittany Renner has had, she's been asked like, hey, so do you want to date ball players? All these famous guys. She says, she said, I've banged every single famous person I've wanted to, so I don't want to do that anymore. So what is she looking for now? True love? You really believe she's looking for love? No, she was looking for a way to settle down. It is in her nature. But of course, on camera, she's going to say, I was searching for love. Come on. That's why you were going after NBA players and musicians, right? And millionaires, because you were looking for love. I mean, this is just crazy. So the question he essentially asked her there was like, He really didn't ask a question. He explained the natural course of a modern woman who's wasted all her time partying, having fun, and finally gets to a point where she realizes, like, okay, I have to take my life seriously. So what does she do? She looks for a simp who she can take advantage of and settle down from. And that's exactly what she did. That's exactly what she did, man. And so, am I surprised that Brittany Renner denied any of this stuff, right? That she's going to paint herself as looking for love, and that's why she dates NBA players and she dates millionaires? No, I'm not surprised. And remember, guys, this is the same chick that's taking pictures in front of college campuses talking about hide your sons. This is the same chick that's telling other women that, like, hey, you want to mess with the athletes because the athletes don't use protection and they'll bust inside. And that means you have an NBA baby and be set for life, guys like me. But when put in front of a camera, she can't own up to what she said outside of the camera. Why? Because it's getting real now. You don't like the person who you are now seen as, even though that's the person you've been, right? Your reputation has finally caught up with you. So what can you learn from this, fellas? Well, I'll say it again, man. Brittany is an archetype of the type of woman that you should avoid that's out here as you're living life. The type of woman who wants to take advantage of you. The type of woman who wants to just use you for your resources. And she can and will. Do not let these women out here use you and take advantage of you for your resources. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Be aware. Understand. Be careful. Right? Because you don't have to be PJ Washington. You don't have to be a millionaire to be put on child support. You don't have to be a millionaire to be trapped. You don't have to be a millionaire to marry the wrong woman who decides to change her mind and now you got to pay alimony for the rest of your life. You don't have to be PJ. You could just be a man who is unaware. Be aware. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit that like button if you didn't hit it earlier. As always, I'm always interested to know you guys' thoughts on the content. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. My name is Chisha Zed. Until next time, man, I'm out. Peace.
I'm a walking Liberty Bell. Freedom ring through my stride. Freedom to be inside and be a slave to my pride. And right away it is scream. Man, this love's so serene. I should probably shake it up just a little bit.